Hey Michael, Jim, here's the shop as it stands now. We're getting pretty close, another week, possibly 10 days. So the floors are all epoxied with Rexthane, $1,000 worth of paint. This after diamond grinding the old concrete. A little dusty now, but that'll blow right off. We're looking at the west side of the building. Couple new rollaways, few old toolboxes. These hardwood benches are for the small wall mounts. Electric service. This is the paint station, paint and varnish. Be an extra LED light there. Some of the clamps we use a little less, tucked away in the corner. The walls are R34 insulation. The ceilings are 42, and we overlapped. That's that reflective Celotex. As the rafters got too close to the walls, we wanted to make sure that was well insulated. All the lighting is LED. Well, 90% of it. The front doors completely insulated, repainted. Everything is wrapped in the metal siding with 3/4 inch of Celotex behind it. This little corner is the compressor room, which is insulated so well you don't even hear the compressor come on. It's a monster, so it's very noisy. But with the door closed, it's just a little quiet hum. I redid a lot of the wiring. Because of the extruded ribs on the metal, what we decided is to go to these outlets with a little spacer behind them. So every duplex is now 6-way grounded, 15 amp. Then up here we have conduit coming up, and there's 2 circuits in there. They run all the way across the building, and one of them is a 20 amp for overhead heat. This is a 40K BTU Modine type heater, stainless plumbing, brand new propane tanks outside, digital thermostat, extremely efficient. And we put a little Celotex above it, the reflective, to keep the heat down rather than climbing up the attic. This door we completely re-insulated. This is kind of a small overhead door, which I plan on adding a machine shop behind there in the spring, so we're a little tight on room and we can move some of the equipment out there. But that's completely paneled, re-insulated. Looks like a brand new door. This is our first air station, and we have 3 circuits on this. The one that's running over here, and then 2 additional. And we'll be coming down with PEX for a 125 PSI air supply, which will run up here. Here's Millie. I just brought her today. She's not very impressed. She comes, has a bone, and wants to go home. This is the varnish area. This vinyl mat will keep the floor from getting drips and so on it. Right down this seam, we'll have our curtain, which is stashed up there on one of those 2 cabinets. Now there's 2. But this shop is not as long as the old building was, so we'll probably only use 1. And we'll take this little trash can out. The curtain will tuck right in here when we're not using it to allow us full access to that door to get the flagpoles out. That's the epoxy cart, very lightweight. We can roll it right out. There was 3 of these metal posts. We took out the metal one, and we've got a gauge. We've been checking that main beam, In 14 days, it's sagged 3/8 of an inch. It's a pretty good beam, 7.5 by 10. But we're gonna plate it next week with steel plates all the way down. So first, we will jack it up right here in the center. Take out that 3/8 bow it's got and add 3/8 of crown to put it under tension. Then we're gonna plate it with great big bolts all the way through and double 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch by 4-inch steel plates, which my metal shop has welded up for us. Then we remove the jack stands and it should hold. These are coming out and we'll get the sawmill is sawing up some 8x8 posts with a big 8-inch knee brace coming out at 45 degrees to distribute the weight. This is the layout table, the most important part of the shop. So the structure of it is finished. 3/4 inch AC sanded plywood, all 2x6 construction, screwed. It's clamped right now because we built it in 2 pieces to make it possible to disassemble and move should we ever have to. But it'll be all one screwed together where the clamps are. And then right down the middle, we run a big oak fence right here. And our rail, which does the tapering, an aluminum 1-inch by 2-inch rail. And then on this side, there are stands for the epoxy clamping. But it's identical to the old table I've used, so we know it works. There's a couple hundred clamps, and there's I don't know how many more, but that's the heart of the glue up. A couple toolboxes with our hand tools here. The table saw is functional, the planer's functional, the dust collection is functional, everything's been wired, 240 circuit for the planer and 20 amp circuits for the other big machinery. This is the miter table, 16 feet long, aluminum rail. The miter saw's been all torn apart and rebuilt, just like new. Now this wall has the overhead LED lights, which are actually focused right here on the table. This wall will also get 4, which will be focused right on the varnish area. And some of my favorite flagpole photos, and we got a bunch more to cover the other wall. The drill press is in place, needs to be cleaned up. This is just construction lumber, but this rack is exactly 14 feet long, which is the size of the oak we get. So basically the workflow is the oak comes in this door onto this rack. When we're finished building a pole, all the short length drops go up on this rack. This material, when it's all the flagpole oak, goes over to the miter bench for the finger joining, right here to the drill press for the boring, over here for the ripping, over there, and the epoxy glue up, over there for the varnishing, out that door for delivery. So that's it. I think it's, I'd say the shop is 90%. I think we have just over 5 weeks in it, almost 6. And we got about another 10 days and we'll be finished. This is state of the art, boys and girls. So I am so pleased with it. The lighting, it's very easy to heat. Our ceiling is R45. The walls are so tight. We even took all the electrical outlets, insulated behind them before we ran the metal paneling. The metal is on 3/4 inch Celotex. It's completely air free. There isn't a draft in here. If you even tried to find one. And it's just about the right size. It's a little tight. I really had to think about how everything should be laid out. But this is one beautiful shop, and we're going to be very proud of it when we get a, PBS Mountain Lake doing a story about the Heroes Foundation. The shop is going to show extremely well. I think that's it. You got the highlights anyway. I'll do a better video when it's completely done. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.